Right then, hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, welcome one and all. My name is Paul, I'm also called Knick-Knack, I'm the brains, so help me God, behind Knick-Knack's Daily Teaser. It's a fun daily brain teaser quiz. I also talk about movies when I get a chance to see one, and I really do want to sit down with something at some point. I also sit down and watch TV shows as and when I get the chance. And just recently I've been watching Star Trek Picard. Them and the teasers in my tip jar, big hint, are in the eye there. And I've also been watching Series 4 of Stranger Things. Today is Wednesday the 3rd of August. Yesterday was Tuesday the 2nd of August, which is when I watched Chapter 6, The Dive. I wanted to tell you about it. The Dive opens not with the usual summary, but with the sounds of Hawkins' police cars heading for Lover's Lake, scene of a recent killing. We see the police interviewing, briefly, Jason Carper, played by Mason Dyer, about the murdered body he's holding. He blames the body both on Eddie Munson, and on Satan himself, the figure Jason claims is providing Eddie with evil demonic powers. Post-titles, we see Dr. Brenner, Papa, Matthew Modine, talking to Elle, Millie Bobby Brown, and he explains how her powers will return once her brain is rehabilitated, much in the same way that stroke victims are healed. He also explains that this, like recovering from a stroke, is going to be a long, drawn-out process. Next, we see a building site, with one worker heading straight for the toilet, taking off his radio-equipped walkie-talkie belt, only for the walkie-talkie to be rapidly stolen by an on-the-run Eddie Munson. The scene shifts again, showing us the Hawkins crew. Nancy, Robin, Lucas, Max, Dustin and Steve, Natalia Dyer, Mayor Hawk, Caleb McLaughlin, Sadie Sink, Gaten Matarazzo and Joe Keery heading for Hawkins and finding, when they get back to town, out two things. Eddie's managed to hide at the ominously named Skull Rock, and that another killing has been laid at his feet. Meanwhile, Jonathan, Will, Mike and Argyle, Charlie Heaton, Noah Schnapp, Finn Wolfhard and Eduardo Franco head off to Utah to meet Dustin's girlfriend Susie and ask her to break into the Project Nina computer system, finding out in the process that her parents have forbidden her to use the computer. Whilst all this is going on, in Russia, Joyce and Murray, Winona Ryder and Brett Gelman are having problems of their own. Their plane has crashed, and Yuri, Nicola Jureko, tells them that they're miles away from the top security prison where Sheriff Hopper, David Harbour, is being held. Hopper himself is having a fine old time, except of course he's worked out that he and the fellow prisoners are being extremely well fed before being forced to fight something. Now, just so you know, the episode's title, The Dive, is taken from the climax of this week's story. The Hawkins crew are trying to work out if there's another gate into the Upside Down at the bottom of Lover's Lake. Steve, being an ex-lifeguard, literally takes a dive for the team and ends up underwater being grabbed by something tentacular. It's good. It really is quite something to see. The special effects and the extra bit of world building. The series is quite definitely good at doing that. But that's not what you're wondering, is it? You want to know what I thought of the episode. Good, bad, or inevitably indifferent. I will say it again. This full series of Stranger Things is on a par with the rest of, or with the earlier three series. And each of the episodes, again, are beautifully crafted pieces of work. The cast are fantastically superb and incredibly talented. The writing is great. The lines of dialogue are coming out at an incredibly good rate, and it's very well done. About my only concern, my only problem, again, is the length of the episode. It's an hour and 13 minutes, and it's possibly, to paraphrase Mark Kermode, 10 minutes too long. However, it's not as long. This week's episode, The Dive, is not as long as The Massacre at Hawkins Lab. Next week's episode, which is 1 hour and 40 minutes. That's not going to stop me watching it, I should add, next Tuesday. It just means I'm going to have to start watching it earlier. At any rate, this is where I'm going to be leaving my review. Again, it's another 3-star job. It's good, but that length is discouraging. But it's something I'm going to be watching the next episode of. This week, I am going to be watching the next episode of Star Trek Picard, Monsters, on Friday, 5th of August, and posting my reviews on Saturday the 6th. I'll be catching the next episode of Stranger Things, The Massacre at Hawkins Lab, on the 9th of August, and posting my written and video reviews on the 10th. I'll catch you then. You have a very good week, and if you end up with the never-ending story as an earworm, more power to you. Have a very good week. Just as a postscript, as a last-minute thought, it's got to be said that Eduardo Franco is quite possibly wearing a wig. But if he isn't, Jesus, he's got good hair.